Okay, so before I started my series, I wanted to tackle this question right here. A lot of Indians don't like black people because if you have a baby with a black guy, they think how dark it will come out. And in my case, this is true. So my family always called me dark growing up. Mind you, I'm not that dark. But my mother is darker than me. My father is lighter than me. So, of course, then you get me. But apparently, I'm still dark. So, when I was pregnant with my son, all my mom would say is how dark my child was going to be. Now, when he was born, when you look at the top of a newborn's earlobe, you'll see what color they're going to be, basically. Their pigmented earlobe basically tells you how dark or how light the child is. So, what she said was, he's going to be so dark, look at his ear. I was like, huh? I didn't get it until later that she thought that because of his ear, he's going to be dark. And, well, anyway, colorism is a big issue in India. And that could be why they don't really like the intermingling with black people. Now, that being said, my mom did remarry after my parents divorced, and she did marry a white guy. And my sister is half white, so she's super, super bright. So, yeah.
So a lot of people in my comments have been asking why I would even bother bringing my partner into a situation where he could possibly be disrespected. When my partner and I met on Hinge, I don't even think we had physically met yet. We were just talking. Probably like 3 or 4 days in, I let him know that there is a 99% chance that he will never meet my parents. And if we were to ever get married, I know, crazy talking about marriage within 3 days of speaking, that my parents would probably never come to our wedding. I let him know up front that this is the situation that he was going to be in because my parents are inherently racist. Since then, I have never brought him around to any family functions. He has only met a select few of my cousins that I knew I could trust because my parents are not the only ones who are racist. My aunts, my uncles, distant family members, older cousins, community members, they're all racist. And I did not want to put him in a situation where he could be disrespected. I have always done my due diligence to protect him from racism, from any type of disrespect. I wouldn't want to be disrespected like that, and I would never ever want to put him in a situation. The reason why I wanted my dad to meet him is because we are planning to take the next steps and possibly get engaged. I didn't want my dad to find it out from somebody else. I wanted him to hear it from me. I thought that my dad would be a little bit more open to it because we do have a good relationship. I've already cut off my mom. I haven't spoken to my mom in 6-7 years because of her racism.
I'm a Muslim and he is Sikh Hindu, and my religion does not allow me to even be with someone from a different culture.
One time her mother phoned me, right? He told me, so just leave my daughter. I don't want you in her life.
My parents warned me, and my mother actually got people to eradicate him, not like kill him, but like eradicate him, like take him out of the way.
My father, first thing he told me, he said, she's gonna be a problem for you.
I spoke to my family, they disagreed, they used to mock him and all those things. There was a time, when we said, it's over for both of us. We can't go through this anymore. And at that time, I gave up. I was like, I love you, but it's not going to work out. Our families won't allow it, and religion doesn't allow it, people doesn't allow it, society doesn't allow it. I secretly, behind my parents' back, I went and met him, and I said, no matter what happens, I'm going to make this come true.
I have always been okay with being disowned by my parents if it was over who I chose to love and be with. I chose my autonomy over anyone else's approval. I remember telling my parents, if you don't approve of the man I'm going to marry, then don't show up to my wedding. And you're welcome to show up to my wedding. And of course they showed up to my wedding because I'm not marrying a loser. My husband is a wonderful, good, hardworking, successful man. Why would I choose someone bad for my life? I told my parents, you chose who you married, whether you felt at the time it was against your will or not. It was a decision you made as an adult. This is my life. I'm going to marry who I want to marry. I'm not living for anybody else. Listen, my parents, they've come a long way. To my parents' credit, they have grown tremendously. They've put in the work. I am proud of how far they've come, have accepted me for me. They unconditionally love our children. What grandparent doesn't? If you do, you got issues. They absolutely adore and love my husband. Matter of fact, they're always defending him. No, I'm not surprised when it comes to the older generation making their comments. They grew up in a different time. But I'm surprised a little bit when it comes to the millennials and the Gen Zs making their comments, asking me questions like, really? We grew up around more diversity. There's a lot of interracial couples. I'm actually really surprised that this topic is getting so much attention. Like, I did not even think that, I assumed everyone navigates their life the way I do if they are in an interracial relationship or marriage, because you are disservicing yourself by not setting boundaries. As the Asian partner in my relationship, I understand the cultural expectations.
But I'll start the story. So this happened when I was in Canada. I had recently migrated from India in my teenage years, and I had gone to undergrad and met somebody who was doing chemistry honors. I was doing biochemistry honors, and I mentioned that to say that because of the subject matters, we overlapped and we ran in some same circles, and then we started dating. Prior to this point, I was dating somebody else that my family didn't approve of. I gave up that relationship because of my family, because my family approval was important. By the time I met Garnett, I was like, no, I got to do my own thing. I can't just go for family. I got to do my own thing. So when I met Garnett and we started talking about this, telling my family and all, I went back and forth, and then I finally said, no, I'm going to.
So ladies and gentlemen, I trust that you're doing well today, and welcome to yet another interesting episode. So guys, most of the time, I know, like, when we talk, we are like, you know what? Yes, of course, the USA has been one of the countries where people complain about being discriminated, people complain about racism and all that. Wait until you go to India. So in the Indian community, these people actually, when they talk about racism, or rather when they try to make jokes about other races, they talk it out actually on the dinner setting. And because, you know, like, when we are having dinner, this is one of the settings that normally conversations being made could be like light conversation or maybe hard conversation. And apparently they sit down and casually mention something that is so racist to the kids, so that they see how the kids are going to be reacting, whether they're going to laugh about it or they're going to contribute about it. And I'm like, this is sick. Because tell me, you thought that you have seen it all, but not the whole of it. Because even for somebody to have like a darker skin, we have Indians who have dark skins, you know. Actually, they are not welcome to be part of Indians. They're actually being discriminated. There's a video I did about the film industry with the Asians who are like actually black, you know, in that community. Most of them are being banished because they don't see them as being fit, you know. So on this particular video, we are going to be reacting to some of the videos that have been made by these brave women who actually are calling out their families for being racist towards them. And apparently even some of them are just, you know, they have a fair skin, they have skin that is, they have white skin rather. But then again, they're being banished because they married outside their culture. So up to this particular age, yes, maybe some of you might argue that we have to preserve the culture. The culture still remains the same. But remember, we are also living in a world where there's a lot of diversity. For instance, there is a creator here who is actually talking about her migrating from India to Canada. And when she went there, she actually found another set of community. And when you go to that particular setup, you have to relate, you have to learn how to live with people. At that particular time, your culture doesn't really matter. It could matter whereby you preserve it as a person. But then again, you have to adopt. So when she got engaged with somebody else who is not into their culture as Indians, she was banished. She was told, you cannot belong here because you're only supposed to marry within your culture. That one has also happened to some lady who is actually talking about her getting married to a black person, you know. She get married to a black person, and then the family actually didn't disown her directly, but they said they don't want anything to do with the kids. So that means if you don't want anything to do with my kids because they're black, it means that you don't have want anything to do with me as well. Because why would you actually hate on the kids, and there you tell me that because I'm your child, you love me? That one doesn't happen. And it's crazy that even now, still the Afro Indians, they're not accepted. They cannot be able to be engaged in certain topics. Even when it comes to film industry in India, you have seen it. Normally, you can count the number of films that actually have the Afro Indians. And it's not that they're not available. They are there and they have talent at the same time. But then again, there is this segmentation, you know. They classify you in a certain group of people that should not belong to the society. And it's crazy, guys, you know. So ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're new here, let me know what you think about this topic. Like, it's 2026, and when people are still talking about racism and colorism, I don't know. I really don't know where all of this is going. But leave the comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, please subscribe. And to my new subscribers, thank you so much. To my returning subscribers, thank you very much. And you know how we do. Until next time, and my name is Yvonne.